Alright, I think I got it figured out now. Hooray for me. I win. So welcome back. We're going to do some painting again. Good times, right? Good times. Okay. So we're still working on the Rataclysm from Animal Adventures Rat King of Gullet Cove set. Last time we did some base coat, and I started on a little bit of the contrast paint. So we're going to keep going with that today. So yeah, we did a little bit of the contrast paint on his back right here using the Gorgrunta fur. So we're going to keep going with that a little bit. Oh, sorry, I'm shaking the whole table. Alright, let's just dive right into it. Okay. Ooh, that's a lot of paint. It's okay. We'll be able to kind of move it around and don't want to let it bunch up too much in one area. So man, the wind's really blowing outside. Right. I'm trying to be a little bit careful right here so I don't get the ears too brown. Might have to go back and redo the ears and stuff later, but that's okay. And with these contrast paints, you can just kind of spread them on. You want it to run down into the cracks a little bit so that it gives it that light and shadow that you're going for. Okay. That's a tricky little spot to get into right here. Okay, that's probably good enough. And if you've got areas that look a little too dark, you can do like we did last time, which if you didn't check that video out, it's up on YouTube. And yeah, if it gets a little bit too dark in an area, you can just dry your brush off and then wick this stuff out, and it works really well. Like I said, this contrast paint, man, it's like easy mode. Alright, and then he's got a bunch of fur back here. Your tail's in my way, dude. Let's see. Looks like we might have... Oh, yeah. Hello, Corinne. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and redo some of these areas, but it'll be okay. Like I got contrast paint on his little back humps here. His humps, his lovely lady lumps. Okay. So these little fur spots I'm trying to do with this darker contrast paint, and then the goal is to kind of have that fade and transition into a lighter brown, like further down. So I'm looking for areas right now that are furry. I got most of them. I'm gonna get his head up here too. Whoops, that was a problem. Make sure I get some of this down in those eye sockets, so they're definitely want them to be darker and have that shadow to them. So if some of this contrast paint pools down in the eye sockets, I'm okay with that. Oh yeah, I agree. Contrast paint is easy mode. It's a very quick and effective means of getting your model from looking very simple to bringing it to life. Ooh, I'm shaking so bad tonight. Sorry. I'm sure I'm shaking the camera and the table and everything else. Alright. Make sure we get the hair on his chinny chin. Okay. Oh, missed some spots kind of inside the little neck area here. Okay. Okay. So yeah, like you can see now, that's already starting to make a huge difference and starting to make him look way, way better. We're going to switch colors now. We're going to get off of that Gorgrunta fur, and we're going to go with an Agrax Earthshade. This is one of my favorite ones. Like, this color right here is really, really good. I use it for woods a lot. I use it for leathers a lot. And then I'm gonna run this up into those areas a little bit. Oh, see, this transition is really not what I had hoped for. I wanted it to be like I wanted it to be a little bit more gradual transition, but that's kind of jarring and doesn't look great. So we might have to do something different there. So this is a good color. It's one of my favorites, but it's just a little bit too far. And I got a little bit too much of it on there, so I'm going to have to wick some of that up real quick. No problem. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm afraid the issue I'm going to run into with trying to mix them is that contrast paints, being thin and very wash-like, tend to... I don't know, I've never really tried to mix contrast. You know what? We'll give it a shot here in just a second. We're gonna get this on and then kind of see where we're at. And yeah, I didn't clean my palette last time because I'm a bad person. Since starts, we keep coming back to these two hearts, two angels who... And yes, I am listening to Cher and Peter Cetera. I don't know why. There's something wrong with me. Oh wow, yeah, look at his arm there now. Just some of the definition on the... let's soak a little bit of that up. Okay. Yeah, I think he looks pretty good. Remember when you asked me last time how I got paint all over my left hand? That's how. There's my paper towel. But there's my hand, and it's handy. See what I did there? That's funny. 2 inches open right here from the bone. Yeah, this stuff, you can, like if it gets to be too much shadow in one spot, you can just kind of put the brush in there and redirect it around a little bit until it's where you want it a little bit more. And a little bit goes a long way because it's so thin. Oof, okay. And I've watched people paint minis where they like go in and they do all these manual by hand highlights and lowlights and things like that, and it looks amazing, but that, well, for one thing, it's not really what I'm going for. I don't need my mini to be photorealistic or anything like that, but also I don't need it to be studio quality perfect. I just need it to be painted. So that's all I'm really going for here. Yeah. Rat folk as a sentient creature probably would not count as an animal for like druid spells and things like that. So yeah, probably not. It's got some really, really deep shadows in here I'm going to try to clean up real quick. Okay, that's better. Got some over here as well. I said just dry the brush out as much as you can and then soaks it right up. I mean, I want some of that, I just don't want it to be much, you know. Yeah, nice try on the control animal or whatever spell you were going to try to use on this thing. That's assuming you guys ever even fight this thing. I might just paint it and that encounter never happened. It wouldn't be the first time. Let's get a little bit more paint. Dude, your hand's in my way. I need to paint your foot. Oh, well, I got some paint where I didn't want it to go, but I'll deal with that when I go back and clean a lot of this up later. Illustrious DM. I like it. Okay, well, let's just finish this up and then I'll look and see maybe what I can do to change it up, make it look a little better. Touch up here and there. I'm definitely going to have to mix some more of that pink up at some point, I imagine. I got a pretty good idea what I used. I mean, I know it was red and white, but I got a pretty good idea what ratio, or, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. And what's really fun about these contrast paints, like this Agrax Earthshade, right now I'm doing it with that brown base that we did, but you can do it with a red base or even a blue base or something like that, and it's gonna totally change the end product and what what your final color looks like is going to be vastly different with a brown base than it is with a red one, or some other color. So not only do they make your model look really good really fast, but they're really versatile paints also. You can do a lot more than just one color with them, depending on what what base color you use with them. Okay. Oh, I missed a hand. Ha! Oops. Well, that's easy to fix, huh? That is true. I do clean the palette occasionally, but usually not in the middle of a project. These little plastic palettes are super cheap, so it can be replaced. And just because of the type of plastic that it's made out of, I can leave paint on it for literally weeks, and with a little hot water and soap, you can still clean it and make it look almost brand new. So don't worry, I'm not really... Brushes, yeah, I tend to take care of the brushes, but the palette, I don't care. I'm not super regimented about cleaning the palette. Alright. So yeah, like now he's really starting to look like something. He's really coming along here. What, the palettes? Yeah, I got a bunch of palettes. I don't know where they're all at. Oh, you mean brushes. Yeah, we bought. Corinne came to visit me about a little less than a year ago. And while she was here, we painted some minis. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find the one you did. Should be right here. Yeah. So when Corinne came to visit, she painted this guy. The Beholder. Ivan, yep, there he is. He turned out so good. Anyway, that's one that Corinne painted about a year ago, give or take. Okay, so now I'm going to use this Apothecary White. This paint is the bane of my existence. I love the way that it looks, but like you can see how it all just clumps down to the bottom. So I have to shake the crap out of it. This is why I need one of those nail polish shaker apparatuses. One day I'll get one. So the white is going to go on this gross belly and tail. If I ever get this paint mixed up. Yeah, and that's the thing. If you're using traditional paints, you go dark to light. But with these contrast paints, you pick a lighter base coat because your wash is going to darken it. Your contrast paint is going to darken it up. And then you go back in with the lighter color and dry brush, or at least that's the way I do it. Let me try something real quick, just out of curiosity. I don't know if that made any difference at all. A little different quality on the light. He looks good on camera. Whoops. There we go. Give myself a little bit better light. Alright. I think this Apothecary White's shaken up enough that it's gonna at least be serviceable for now. And then we're gonna get this gross, fleshy belly painted up. And his tail. We'll get his tail too. Doesn't seem to be making a whole lot of difference, does it? Might have to go in with a second coat of this. Well, let's get it on there. See how it looks. If I don't like it, I can change it. His base coat on his belly's a little spotty in places too, and I'm not thrilled with that either, so I might have to go in and do quite a bit more touch up on this than I had originally anticipated. I might not actually finish the model tonight. I wanted to, but I don't think we're gonna make it. There's just too much little detail that a lot of the detail is starting to come out now that I'm getting the contrast paints on it. It's like, oh, well, that's like over here, there's some little spots that I could definitely make a different color. Some sort of angry, almost infected looking color. Like a red or a purple. Trying to remember, we did some worms when Corinne was here that last time. One of the things we painted were these weird worm things, and we ended up doing them pink and then with some of the white on top, and they ended up looking really, really gross and earthworm like. And that's kind of what I was going for here. And I thought I was doing it pretty much the same way, but I don't know, it's just not turning out as good this time for some reason. Okay. That's good enough for now, I guess. Look at his tail. Turned out okay. All right. Now we're going to step away from the contrast paints for a minute. And we're going to go with the Iron Breaker for the shackles that he has on him. This paint is insanely thick and notoriously difficult to work with. I need a really, really small, tight brush for this. I actually don't think I have the brush I want. Hold on. Yeah, this is the one I want right here. Super small tip on this brush so I can get in and I normally don't get a whole lot of paint for this, just a tiniest little drop on the end. And then I've got one of the things that helps me, because my hand shakes so badly, is to have both of my hands planted on the table. And it kind of helps steady my hands a bit. Because if I get this silver somewhere that I don't want it, that is pretty much game over. And I know you can't really see what I'm doing right now because my hands are in the way. And I'm sorry about that. I apologize. Let's see. Maybe I can do this side of this shackle where you can see. Yeah, just a teeny little bit of silver on the brush. It's those edges that are so tricky. Okay. And this Iron Breaker is super bright, but I'm gonna hit it with that shade oil, and that'll give it a bunch of contrast. My phone buzzed. I don't know what that's for. I'll check that later. But again, same thing we were talking about earlier. You're talking about going light and then getting darker. Because when I put that shade oil on this silver, it's going to make it look kind of old and weathered, and it's going to darken the color up. So I've got some darker silvers that I could have used to start with, but then they're going to look really dark and really weathered, and it's going to take some of that metallic sheen off of it once I darken it up with the contrast paint. So start light and expect it to get darker once you use the wash. Again, not that I'm a professional or anything, I just do stuff. Alright, what's going on in the chat? Yeah. I don't know, I like to have a real high level of control with these metallics especially. just because, like I said, if I get silver somewhere I don't want it, covering it is very difficult. So I just want a teeny tiny little brush tip. I want to move very slowly and deliberately, because this is not a color that I want to make a mistake with. I'm in my own light. It's poop. Okay. That's alright. Yep, that's fine. So now his little leg shackle is all silvered up. Well, the first one. Now I gotta do this one on his butt. This one's gonna be hard to get to, so wish me luck. Here we go. Oh no, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Sorry, I know I'm not talking a whole lot, but I'm trying to be really, really careful with this part. Okay, yeah, that's okay. All right. Next arm. Okay. Wish there was a way to make this stupid paint pot stay open a little better. Oh, sounds like Pizza's here. The dog's losing her shit. Okay. Damn it. Damn it. So I got just a teeny little bit of silver on the hand part up there, and it's going to be a bitch to cover when I go back and do touch-ups later. Oh well. We will cross that bridge when we get to it, right? You know, and these little tiny mistakes and things like that, no one would probably, give me a sec. No one is probably ever going to notice it, that just picks up the model and looks at it. They're going to be like, oh, that's nice. But I'll know. Oh, I'll know. And every time I pick this model up, I'll be like, yeah, there's a mistake right there. Oof. Okay. Alright, I got one more little shackle here I need to do. Let me clear this brush a bit first. It's starting to get gunked up. Clean it off a little bit, get some of the paint out of it. Found out a guy that I work with paints miniatures. Not for D&D or anything. He just, like, the ones that he was showing, you know, of course he says, hey, I paint minis. And I was like, hey, I paint minis too. So immediately both of our phones come out and we start showing each other pictures. First off, he's way better than me. I am not going to lie to you. This guy's really good. But the ones that he had most recently been working on, I don't know who makes them or what game they're from or anything, but they look like, have you ever seen the game Cuphead, where it's like the aesthetic of it is like 1930s cartoon, and that's what he was painting. So of course, with them supposed to be cartoons, you want to have a lot of really vibrant colors and a lot of really cool color changes and stuff like that. And wow, he is an amazing mini painter. I think he said he started because he was playing Warhammer 40K or something like that, and then doesn't even play the games anymore, but has continued to paint the minis because that, you know, that was one of the parts that he really enjoyed about that whole tabletop gaming process. All right, I'm done with the silver. That was tough, but now he's got silver shackles. So, yeah, okay. Some masterworks or, I see you. All right. So one thing that I want to do now before I go any further is I definitely have some places that I need to touch up. So I'm going to go ahead and get this Xandri dust, and the pallid witch flesh that we use for the white. And I'm just going to clean up some of the areas where a color I didn't want got into a place where it's not supposed to be and things like that. So, like for example, down here on this foot, there's quite a bit of pink that made its way down here onto this foot, and I want to cover that. Also, quite a bit of white from the toesies got down here, so I want to clean that up as well. And this is little tiny, using the same little tiny brush that I use for the silver, because this is tight, detailed little spots. So, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't always do this part as much, like the going in and cleaning everything up, because sometimes I'm just like, it's good enough, you know. But for this guy, I'm gonna I'm going to try to do as much as I can. Alright, so a little bit of brown there. There's a couple little spots over here I want to hit real quick with this brown. Somewhere. Yeah, right here. Along the edge where that silver is. Clean that up. Okay. And I got some silver white on his hand right there. Oh, perfect. That went great. Pretty pleased with that one. Yeah, until I got in here with the contrast paints, I couldn't really tell where his knuckles ended and his claws began, so those are some of the spots that I'm kind of redoing. And then these edges where the shackles are, just cleaning them up a little. Honestly, I didn't do too badly on that one. There's some little bit of a spot right here. Bro, your butt is in my way. It's too late to apologize. And here's some spots that I missed entirely. Base coat and everything. There's just primer shining through down here. That's alright. And a lot of this probably would be covered as I did the washes and the dry brushing later. But this felt like a good point to touch up some spots before I went any further. Okay, yeah. I might have to get back in there with that pink. Alright, so let's touch up some of the whites. Also, the claws, the teeth. Oh, wait, I see one more spot for brown. Ooh, and a spot that I hit big time with the silver. Oh, wow. One little thing that I like to do is I like to start kind of away from where I'm going to paint. And then as I push the brush down and the bristles spread, they'll spread into the place that I want them to be. And then I'll kind of pull. Okay. Alright, we're done with the Xandri Dust brown, I think, now. I'm not going to put it all the way away because we may have to go back and do some more touch-up stuff later. Okay. I'm going to do a little touch-up on claws and bone spurs. Oh, yeah, you've told me about your all-female, was it Slaanesh? Is that how it's pronounced? I bet if you looked around your house enough, you would come across those old minis. All right. Okay, that one looks good. I'm gonna go to this next claw. This one I messed up real bad. It's got all kinds of brown on it, and I'm just gonna have to slather the end of this thing with the white to try to cover that brown. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, but that claw has a huge glop of like brown on it. So I'm gonna get that out of there. Hopefully without getting any of the white on the hand itself. And I promise I'm not going for absolute shit, absolute perfection. And that's why I didn't put the Xandri dust away. There's a definite art form to this part though, because you could sit here for a week and just find little spots and little imperfections, and you could just keep going and keep going and keep going on this part really forever. At some point, I have to just look at it and be like, you know what? That's good. I'm going to move on to the next part. At some point, you just have to call it good enough and be happy with where it is. This other claw turned out really good. I'm not even going to jack with that one. A little bit on the toe right there. Okay, that's good. That toe looks good. Alright, let's do his little bone spurs on his back next, because I definitely painted over those. Yep. Now I'm going to have to go back and touch up the brown, because I hit it with the white. I really should have two brushes right now. I should have one for the brown and one for the white, but I did not do that. Oh, my hands are shaking so bad. Alright, that's fine. A lot of this is going to get covered with contrast anyway, so I'm not going to sweat this too bad, other than that one spot that I definitely hit with white where it should be brown. Because all of these little bone spurs are going to get hit with a contrast paint called Skeleton Horde, which is definitely going to, they won't be like super bright white anymore. It'll give them a more weathered look, I guess is the best way to say it. Won't look like bleached bone, it'll look like weathered bone. Alright, I'm going to call that good on those. See? Yes, I'm going to enhance the grody-ness. That is exactly right. Alright, so I'm going to go in and touch up a little bit of this brown where I just hit it with white. I probably should let it dry for a second, but no time for love, Dr. Jones. Boop. Okay, done. Okay. Just a couple of teeny tiny little spots that I hit with white that I didn't mean to. Alright. Okay. I'm gonna call that good. Oh, I didn't do the teeth. I forgot them teethies. Alright, so this is gonna be... Oop, sorry. Didn't mean to bump the camera there. Teeny little drop. And hold my breath. Oof. Okay. Oh, I see a little spot here. Okay, now let's get the bottom teeth. Got way too much paint on the brush there, that's okay. Okay. Come on. Okay, that's good enough. Now I have even smaller teethies to deal with. Oh, about fucked that up. But I didn't. Everything's fine. Alright, I better not fuck with that anymore. I'll be like, oh, I can make that better, and then I will not make that better. I will make that worse. Alright. I feel pretty good about where I'm at with it right now. And I'm gonna have to let those dry for a second. I guess I need to mix up some more of that pink. So I believe I started with, not that one, not that one. Where's the red I started with? Definitely not that one. I think I started with corn red. I'm curious, what would happen? No, I better not do that. I'll mess up everything I've done so far. I thought I had one that was, I thought I had a red that was like a something flesh. Ah, no. That's a contrast I have that's called Flesh Terrors Red. That's the one I was thinking about. I must have started with this corn red base and then put a shit ton of white into it. So we're just gonna, you know what? We're not even gonna do it like that. We're just gonna get a, brush and put a tiny bit of red in there. And then I'm gonna add white. The tail I think is okay, but this belly, like it's got some spots on it where it just like, I don't know. I didn't do a very good job of covering. So let's mix some white in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I think that's about what I did to get this color. This is definitely not the red that I started with last time. Those are not even similar colors. Although I kind of like this one. Yeah, like you can't really see it. Let me pull it over here. Those are not the same color. Not by a long shot. So it must not have been the corn red that I started with. Okay, well, let's see. Oh, let's just keep going until we find one that works. I don't know if this was it, but we'll give it a shot. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the video from the last time I did this to figure out what colors I used. Well, we'll try this one. Where's the brush that I was using to mix this stuff? I just had it like 5 seconds ago. Okay, well, whatever. Alright, let's see if this one will do better. Okay. Oop, sorry. Bump camera again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I mean, that's closer. Let's lighten it up. Let's go with a few more drops of the white in there and see if we can get it at least close. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. Okay. It just started running. Alright, just a couple more drops of white. I think this is going to be pretty close, although they don't look like the same color with the one that's dried over here. But I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to match it exactly without knowing exactly which colors I used and in what kind of ratios I did it. This actually looks pretty close to what's on the model. I mean, that's a pretty good pink, I think. I think that'll work. Yeah, the dry one is almost like a salmon color, but it doesn't look that color on the model, so I don't really know what happened there. I'm going to put just a little more white in this. It's still just a little bit too bright. Yeah, there we go. We're happy now. We're happy. Yeah, we're happy. That's good. That looks identical on my skin to what it was before. But it looks different in the palette, so, you know, whatever. Let's do it. Let's re-base coat this entire stomach area. Doesn't that sound fun? I'm going to thin this down quite a bit. I think maybe my paint was too thick last time, and that's why I got that weird where it didn't cover evenly, because it was just a little too thick. I need a different brush too. This is not what I want. That is a brush with a point. I want something with a little more coverage area. Something like, oh, that one looks like it might work. A little flat brush. Okay. I don't know, there's something about this one spot. I don't understand. I'm doing something here. Doing something wrong. I don't know. I'm just going to slap some paint on this bastard and see what happens. Ooh, that wasn't great. Oh, now I got to touch up white again. It's just right here. It's not wanting to cover. Okay. Okay. Now I've actually moved on to, at this point, to where the tail I'm dry brushing with this same pink that I just used on the belly. And dry brushing, for those who may not know, I'm actually not talking to Corinne because she definitely knows what dry brushing is. But you get a little bit of paint on the brush, and then you get it where it's almost completely dry. There's almost no paint on it at all. And then you go back and just kind of lightly hit the area, and it will kind of give a... It'll hit the high points and not the low points, and it's kind of a quick and cheap and easy way of giving it a little bit of pop. It's cheating, but that's okay. We can cheat. I definitely painted one of this guy's toenails pink, so I'm going to fix that before I do anything else. Okay. What's up? Yeah, I didn't think about there maybe being some mold release right there. That is entirely possible because I definitely did not do my due diligence and wash this mini down before I started. I just I figured the primer would clear up any of that. But man, it's just this one spot right on his belly where there's just a little bit. So it's okay. All right. Let's see. So now that's what his tail looks like with a little dry brushing going on with it. So let me think. You know what? Give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, I made it back. So, continuing with the pink, we're going to get back in and touch these ears up a little bit. They definitely got some of the brown in them. So dry brushing is a technique that's used in ceramics as well, huh? I didn't know that. I've never done ceramics. Always found it interesting, just never done it myself. Alright, so I'm just getting the inside of the ears, and then I'm going to get the inside of the mouths a little bit with this pink. Just so they stand out a bit. And the lines and everything look clean. Oh God. Okay, that's fine. Everything's fine. Alright, good enough. Oh yeah. I missed two of the ears. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna get some of this contrast paint and go... Oh, that's Skeleton Horde. That's not the one I want. Some of those places that I did touch up, like for example right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. So right there, where I went in and touched up where I had accidentally put some white down, obviously that's now that Zangri dust color. So I want to get some of that Gorgrunta fur. Huh. Might still be too wet. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to go in and touch up on that later. Okay. I might have to hit that one spot with a second coat of this contrast paint once it dries up a little bit. It's not wanting to cover very well. Down here it seems to be doing okay. Up there it's very distinctively not the same color. Alright, and then there's a couple places I want to hit with that Argrax Earthshade. A couple of those little touch-up spots. I think I keep getting too close to the camera with the model and makes it hard to see. Oh, that's way better, huh? The question, how many rats have 6 ears? The answer to that is it depends on how close to Chernobyl you are. Oof. What the hell was that? There was a little paint fleck on the model there. Oh yeah. Okay. Back to life. Get on his tootsies a little bit. Pedicure time, buddy. Okay. I'm honestly pretty pleased with it up to this point. How long have I been streaming? I don't even know. Oh my god. Has it been an hour and a half? I really didn't mean to stream for an hour and a half. I just kind of got caught up in what I was doing. So I think I'm gonna call it for the night right there and go do other things, meaning Grand Theft Auto, probably, which I will not be streaming because I want to kill people and call them horrible, horrible names that should not be said on the internet. Although we probably will start streaming GTA again at some point in the future. Go back to those Wednesday night streams. Okay. Okay. I'm not too mad at this guy right now. We've run into some definite challenges along the way this evening, but all in all, I think he's coming along pretty good. So, no, it's not wearing a belt. Where would it be wearing a belt? What are you on about? Talking about a belt. No, it is most definitely not wearing a belt. Nope, just gross pink rat flesh. So, definitely a huge difference. It's coming along. Oh my god. Okay, I can't leave that. I have to. I missed one of the little bone spurs on his back. The one that's like right in the small of his back there. I totally missed it with the white. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to call it for the night. Careful, careful. Okay, yeah, that's better. That was going to bother me if I didn't do it. Okay. So I am going to end the stream there. I will probably jump on and... oh my god. Jump on and try to finish this thing up. I don't know. I guess tomorrow night, maybe? If I'm not doing other stuff. Otherwise, I will see everybody on Sunday for our Pathfinder game we are playing this week. And then... so yeah, either tomorrow or possibly Monday or Tuesday, I'll jump back on and just so what I have to do, what I have left at this point is I need to do the contrast paint on the claws, the teeth, the shackles, the repainted belly here, and then dry brush, and that's really all I have left at this point. It should be. Aha, got you, bitch. Alright, I better quit or I'll sit here and do this all night. I promise I do have a life outside of this. I have other things to do. But I finally got that bald patch on the belly. Yay! Yes, on Sunday is the battle with Babe the Big Blue Bull. That's not canon. We are not calling it that. So yeah, on Sunday, man, we're going to be playing Pathfinder, and we are just going to dive right into it. Before I close out the stream for the night, two things really quick. Number one, I'm not a professional. Please try this at home. Paint minis. It's relaxing. It's fun. You turn on some music. Get a beverage of choice. And yeah, don't be scared of painting a mini. Just jump in and do it. If it doesn't look great, that's okay. The next one will look better. The one after that will look even better. And hopefully one day I'll get good at this. Please like, subscribe, and do all of that stuff. It really helps me out. It makes me feel good about myself. You can find us, Xenon Game Labs is on Twitch, which is where I am now. This video will be uploaded to YouTube probably later tonight. So Xenon Game Labs on Twitch and YouTube. You can also find us on Twitter and Facebook now. So hang out with me while I paint minis, and come join us on Sunday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. We're going to be playing our ongoing Pathfinder homebrewed campaign with the Dawnbringers. And if you guys haven't checked that out, you can look at that on YouTube as well. It's a good time. We have fun with it. So until then, I will say bye-bye.